achieved?
We have definitely neutralized targets, okay, over there. 100%. We have absolutely
Be more specific.
shined the... What's that?
Be more specific.
Government and their military facilities.
Does the IRGC still stand?
I mean, they're like cockroaches. They're scattering. Of course, they still stand.
Okay, so they still stand.
Just, what, are we supposed to level the entire
Are the Iranian people liberated?
I mean, we're definitely shaking things up, dude, for sure.
No. I want a direct answer to my question. As it stands, are the Iranian people liberated?
I wouldn't know that exactly. Neither would you.
The answer to the question is no, because the IRGC still stands. If the IRGC still stands, then the Iranian people are not liberated.
Yeah, but what you have to understand here is the actual people need to have an uprising, okay, and take back their country. The ones that do not want to be ran by the tyranny of the RIGC need to take over. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to shake it up and make some chaos actually happen where the citizens actually go, no, we don't want this, government.
Is a ceasefire giving them 2 weeks to recollect?
We don't want this government that is ran by their Muslim agenda over here. We want freedom in our country.
First and foremost, I think that a Muslim agenda, can mean freedom, the same way I think a benevolent atheistic agenda can mean freedom, a benevolent Christian agenda can mean freedom. I think that we see people from all walks of life that practice all worldviews that agree with freedom for all. Okay, they're benevolent practitioners of all religions. Now, second of all, I disagree with everything that you've said. I do not think that Donald Trump has set the stage for the Iranian people to take back their country, to introduce democracy and free themselves of oppression. Why? Because Donald Trump has appealed to the new IRGC as more reasonable, more level-headed, as a governing body that should exist. All right, that's what he said. Like, for instance, in his post today about announcing the 2-week ceasefire agreement, he said that we've already achieved regime change, and now the people that are governing over the country are significantly more reasonable and fair. Now, what if every single Iranian believed Donald Trump, believed the lie that regime change was effective, believed the lie that now we have less terroristic, more reasonable leaders? We would not see a revolution. So in other words, your only argument here is to hope that the Iranian people do not believe what Donald Trump says about the regime change, quote unquote, with the new, more reasonable IRGC in order for them to take it back and commit their own uprising. Donald Trump, in accordance with his own admission, is culpable for the continued oppression of the Iranian people. And you and every other Trump supporter, have some questions to fucking answer, because this whole time you've been trying to convince me and everybody else that he's going to go liberate the people.
Okay, stop emotionally yapping. Let's have the conversation, bro. Okay, I'll answer the questions. So, this is what I need to ask you, Mr. Hypothetical. Would you rather that the United States, take your pick, you're the greatest hypothetical guy, answer one for yourself. Would you rather that the United States was overwhelmingly Muslim or overwhelmingly Christian right now? Answer the point, dumbass. Watch
Nick, I appreciate you so much for the
21,000 people. Go. Answer the question. One or the other.
I would prefer the United States of America to be overwhelmingly benevolent, regardless of their atheistic, Muslim, or Christian.
What did I just ask of you?
Would I prefer the country to be overwhelmingly
Answer the
Christian
question.
Or overwhelmingly Muslim?
One or the other, dude. Take your pick. Stop running from me.
That question is like asking me, would I prefer the country to wear overwhelmingly blue shirts?
Watch him start muting me now.
Asking me the question, would I prefer the country to be overwhelmingly Christian?
There's the mute.
Because you're interrupting me. Yes, I mute people when they interrupt me. Asking me the question, would I prefer the country?
There's a second mute.
Because you interrupted me a second time. There's a third mute because you interrupted me a third time.
You're not answering the question.
Now there's a fourth mute. Yeah, now I'm not, because you interrupted me. I'd only be able to answer if you let me speak.
This is not going to be a good moment for you, dude. Clip farm coming. Go ahead.
Let me dig my own grave. Let me dig my own grave.
Take your pick.
Just let me dig my own grave by letting me speak if it's not going to be a good moment for me.
I don't need your
It's going to be a good moment for me. That's why you won't let me speak. But anyways, so asking me the question, would I prefer the country to be overwhelmingly Christian or overwhelmingly Muslim, is like asking me the question, would I prefer America to wear overwhelmingly blue shirts or overwhelmingly red shirts? Ultimately, merely wearing a red shirt or merely wearing a blue shirt is something I'm not really concerned with. So I don't really care if the country's overwhelmingly wearing blue shirts or overwhelmingly wearing red shirts. But what I am concerned with, and what I do care, is individuals possessing A, the freedom to wear a blue shirt or a red shirt, or to be Muslim or Christian, and B, in the possession of that freedom, practicing that freedom in a way in which is beneficial for themselves and society as a whole. So if there were to be a Muslim or a Christian freely practicing that religion in America, they're doing so in accordance with the greater means of common sense morality and benevolence.
Okay, so you don't have to answer it directly. You won't, and we'll get off of that because I don't want you to kick me and be emotional.
You know that was a
child
great answer.
So it wasn't even an answer, dude. It was so pathetic. It was unbelievable.
I know.
Dodge number one.
You could cope in one. I ate. I'm not gonna lie. That was a good ass answer.
Chad,
I'm proud of myself for that answer because I think I just correctly represented the best possible answer that anybody could give to that question. Because the question is framed in a sense that you are like forcing me to seclude myself into the suppression of one person's freedom of religion. Because if I were to say that I want the country to be overwhelmingly Muslim, well, now I'm suppressing the freedom of religion that would be possessed by atheists, agnostics, Christians, people that practice Norse religions, Judaism, so on and so forth. If I were to answer that question by saying that I want the country to be overwhelmingly Christian, well, then I'd just be doing that same thing, but on the inverse. So ultimately, I feel like my answer, just telling you that I'm unconcerned with what the religious makeup of our country is, as long as everybody in the country has the freedom of religion to practice whatever religion they want, and they're practicing their religions in a way in which is benevolent and good for themselves and the rest of society as a whole, I don't care.
Okay, freedom of religion, Constitution and all that stuff. Yeah, that's another argument, and I totally get it, and I don't disagree with you on that. This is the thing I want to ask you. Do you think it's better for society if you take two prophets and one of them was celibate, okay, and unalived for his beliefs, and you follow that one? Or the other one married a 6-year-old, okay, and hooked up with her when she was 9, and you follow that one? Go ahead, answer that question, Dean.
Well, I don't follow any prophet.
I'm waiting on this one.
Well, I mean, you have to consider...
Mute me and filibuster again. Go ahead.
Okay, so
I'm going to dig deep on you today, bro.
If you want to play the hyper-fundamentalist blame game of the malfeasance that we could find within the fundamentalist
First mute right there. There it is.
Well, because you interrupted me.
No, I didn't. You're just scared. You're not answering. Who listens to this guy speak? Who tunes in for this? Who tunes in for this?
28,000 people tune in for this.
Yeah, 28,000 children that are lying to people about their age to come in here to say the N-word. Dude, this is insane. So you cannot debate, Dean. You cannot debate.
Well, I think I can debate, or else you let me speak so I could dig my own grave.
I'll mute myself. Go ahead and talk for 20 minutes in a circle.
You asked me the question, would I rather follow a prophet in which is celibate, or would I rather follow a prophet in which married a 6-year-old? Well, I'd actually rather follow no prophet, because I'm an agnostic and I don't think that prophets exist, or at least I'm not convinced of the existence of prophets. But clearly, the nuance that would underpin that question is hinging on to the fundamentalist interpretation of Islam, that Prophet Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6 years old and consummated the marriage at 9 years old. As I repeated earlier today on the stream, there are many Muslims that don't believe that to be true. Perfect. But if we want to play that fundamentalist blame game, let's just do that same thing for the Christian prophet, which, by the way, wasn't a prophet. He was the son of God. There's a difference between God and a prophet. You should know this as a Christian yourself. You just failed the Bible game. But let's now reword your question to represent the fundamentalist beliefs of the Christian God and the fundamentalist beliefs of the Islamic prophet. Would I rather follow the Christian God, who impregnated Mary at 13, endorsed the marriage of Rebecca when she was 3, argued that slavery is okay, as long as the enslavers are Israelites and the enslaved are not Israelites, and compelled the genocide of all Amalekites, including the children? or the Muslim prophet that married a 6-year-old then raped her when she's 9. Well, it seems like when we correctly represent the fundamentalist beliefs of both the Christian God and the Islamic prophet, that we shouldn't follow the Christian God or the Islamic prophet, which is exactly what I believe. I don't think that we should follow any fundamentalist interpretation of any mainstream religion because they all suck. They're all harmful.
Okay, you're going to need to do this. You're going to need to back up your claim. Show me that Mary was 13 when she was became pregnant, okay, by Christ.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you evidence for all the claims in which I made.
Go ahead and show that to me, please.
I'll just go ahead and give you the evidence for all of the claims that I made, including that one.
No. So, you're going to show me. We're going to wait. You're going to show me.
Another minute. So I'm going to give you the evidence for all the claims that I made, including that one. So the evidence for the claim that the Christian God was okay with slavery would be in accordance with Leviticus 25, verses 44 through 46. The evidence for the claim that the Christian God condemned genocide, of babies included, would be 1 Samuel 15:3. And then the evidence that Mary was likely around 13 years old is a fact that, according to historians, that is the age in which girls would get married and have children in old Roman Judaistic society, which Mary lived in. Now, I do just want to flag for all the viewers here that we are strictly talking about the fundamentalist interpretation of the religious text of the Quran and of the religious text of the Christian Bible. There are a bunch of really benevolent Christians and really benevolent Muslims that reject that God's okay with slavery, that reject Prophet Muhammad married a 6-year-old. I love you guys. If you treat religion like a symbol of peace and love for everlasting life, to make yourself better and to make the world better as a whole, and respect to dignity and human rights, you're awesome.
What did you even just say? I said the evidence. What was that?
I said the evidence that the Christian God is okay with slavery is Leviticus 25, verses 44 through 46. The evidence that the Christian God commanded genocide, including that of children, would be 1 Samuel 15:3. And the evidence that Mary was likely around 13 years old, as that is what historians indicate the average age to be of a girl married and then give birth to a child.
Okay.
Ancient.
Can you swallow some saliva so I can speak?
Society.
Can you swallow some saliva so I can speak?
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So the New Testament in the King James Bible actually talks about how you're not supposed to have slaves. So this whole, Mosaic law that you go back to. So please just give me 1 second, Mr. Withers.
Thank you for proving my point.
No, listen. So
just prove my point.
So wait a minute.
Prove my point. Go ahead.
So Islam holds to the Old Testament.
No. I want you.
Can I finish speaking, dude?
I want you to finish your. Statement about the New Testament and the Christian Bible.
On top of the muting and cutting off.
Well, now I'm just doing.
Dude, what is your deal, bro?
I'm just giving you.